David lived in a small town. Everyone knew everyone. Life was simple, but David had a big dream. He wanted to run a marathon. This seemed impossible. David wasn't athletic. He was always the last one picked for teams. He was more comfortable with books than with sports. One day, David watched the city marathon on TV. He was mesmerized. Seeing everyday people push their limits inspired him. He decided right then and there, he would run a marathon. He knew it would be tough. He was starting from zero, but David was determined. David's first run was a disaster. He barely made it down the block. He was out of breath. His legs ached. He felt defeated. People laughed when they saw him struggle. Friends and family doubted him. They told him to stick to reading. David ignored them. He knew what he wanted. He started slow. He ran a little bit every day. He pushed himself a little further each time. It was hard. He wanted to quit, but he remembered the marathoners on TV. He remembered his dream. David's body started to change. He was getting stronger. He could run farther. He started to enjoy the rhythm of his feet on the pavement, the wind in his hair, the feeling of accomplishment. David found a running app. He followed a training plan. He tracked his progress. He learned about pacing, nutrition, and rest. Running became a part of his routine. It wasn't easy, but it was rewarding. He was proving his doubters wrong. Most importantly, he was proving to himself that he could do it. Section 4. Ankle injury threatens it all. One rainy afternoon, disaster struck. David twisted his ankle on a loose sidewalk tile. The pain was sharp and immediate. He couldn't put any weight on his foot. David was devastated. He thought his marathon dream was over. He went to the doctor. The doctor told him it was a bad sprain. He needed to rest for several weeks. No running. David was heartbroken. He felt like giving up. But then he remembered his journey. He had come too far to quit now. Section 5. Marathon morning arrives. Marathon day arrived. David was nervous. He had recovered from his injury, but he still felt the pressure. He had trained for months. He had overcome so much. He was ready. He stood at the starting line, thousands of people around him. The energy was electric. He took a deep breath. He remembered why he started this journey. He was ready to run. Section 6. Triumph over adversity. The marathon was the hardest thing David had ever done. He hit a wall. His legs screamed, but he kept going. He thought of all the people who doubted him. He thought of his own journey. He wouldn't give up. And then he saw it. The finish line. A surge of energy pulsed through him. He crossed the line. He had done it. David, the small-town boy who could barely run a block, was now a marathoner. He had achieved his dream. But more importantly, he had learned the power of perseverance. He learned that anything is possible if you set your mind to it and never give up.